What's up, motivators? Remember to like, subscribe, and bell for more motivated content. This is Gates Samaniego, and I'm back just giving you another little talk here from the driver's seat. Alright, I wanted to talk a little bit today about trucker PPE. Not personal protective equipment, although that's very important in the trucker industry, but I think that this PPE is even more significant. What we're talking about here at MOTOME is patience, perspective, and empathy. Let me tell you about some things that happened to us over the last 2 days as we took a couple loads into California. Some of you are already cringing at the word California and having to do trucking inside of this state. And sometimes the experience is, less than optimal. But patience, perspective, and empathy. So we delivered a load, and we were actually early on this load. So we got to California, and we're dropping a load at a Prime drop yard. If you work for Prime, you may have dropped in Fontana before, and been asked and promised a really great load on the back end, or just pretty much voluntold that you were going to need to take a local load after dropping this load. So we drop a load. We're a day and a half early on it, and ideally that's great. It's great for us. We can hurry up and get another load. We're considered empty. Somebody else can take, like a company driver, somebody with short hours can take it the rest of the way, go ahead and do the delivery, and for us, we get to keep rolling because we're a team, and, long miles is kind of the team game. All right, so we get there, and we're asked to take this this next load, 16 miles, maybe, it's 13 miles for $16, which, that's not the true price, but that's what came across Qualcomm, and, yeah, that's shocking, right? So we got to do the local load, and then after the local load, we'll still technically be early. We would be empty half a day early, as opposed to actually delivering the first load all the way to the 90. So we have to take the local load, and then we can get another load out of California. So fine, that all happens. We do it. We deliver the local load, and that could already maybe make you upset that I'm not being utilized properly. Okay, well then we go to our next load. We got a load taking some produce from California all the way to Virginia. Good paying load. We're hyped about it. So, but it doesn't pick up till the next morning. Okay, fine. We drive the empty miles to the location. We get to have some stop sleep. It's rare as a team, so we kind of enjoy that. Wake up in the morning, check in, and they're like, not even right away, check in at 8. About 10:30, they tell me, hey, your load's been moved, and you got to go pick it up at a different location. Oh, curses, right? So you're like, already been waiting, already been postponed. You're itching as a team, maybe just as a driver in general, to get the wheels rolling. The wheels aren't turning. You're not making any money, and so now you're upset. Here's the next thing. Oh, these things keep happening to me, and you're so frustrated that now here's another problem with the next load, and I already had to deliver the local load, and now this and the other thing. But I'll admit, all of these things pass through my head, and maybe they've passed through yours. You start to get frustrated when you're out here and you're just by yourself, and you have this mentality that things are happening to you, and it's not happening on your time, and it's your money, and these people are taking your money from you, and they're not utilizing you. And are you kidding me, driver manager? There's really no other load that we as a team with full hours can take. you want us to take this 13-mile load, and then, when they switched locations, we actually had to backtrack. So the new dispatch showed more empty miles and less loaded miles, and that actually took $70 of our pay away out of the total load settlement. So now we're on this load to Virginia, and the original price is already down about $100, $70. And that is just, here's another thing I can be mad at. But listen, guys, I guess this is what I'm trying to get across. There's a way to be out here and keep a positive mindset. All these things aren't happening to me. I was sitting here thinking, like, trying to get myself out of this state, because I know it's my problem. It's my problem that I'm even thinking these things, that I'm starting to entertain being upset about these loads. And so here's what I start thinking. I'm driving down the road, and I'm seeing all of these beautiful fields around the Salinas and Mariloma, California area. There's so many fields and fields, farming fields of all this food and all this produce being grown. And right now there's a lot of harvesting going on. So there's all these little groups of people and all of their farming equipment, and they're picking the produce. They're in the fields. I see them all hunched over, picking whatever they're picking, the berries. I don't even know how that works. That's how ignorant I am. I mean, obviously you pick the berries, but I don't know the intricacies of, plucking the by the roots, or what they're doing. I know none of it. I know, more than some, because I'm like, hey, I'm the trucker that gets that to the shelf, so I know that part. I know that there's this middle piece, and so that's more than some who are just like, I don't know, it appears on the shelf, I buy it. But they're out there, and I'm like, you know what? Where is my gratitude? Where is my perspective? Because this is the job I chose. I could be out there doing that. They're probably not making $1,000 a week, $2,000 a week. So I start thinking to myself, I'm like, where are we losing perspective here? Where are we losing patience for this industry? Because we get pissed. Drivers out here, we get upset. We're like, this is my time. You're wasting my time. You're wasting my hours. You're not functioning for me. But at the same time, we're equally pissed when, Sally soccer mom doesn't know where, how the products get to the shelf. We're equally pissed at her for being ignorant of our job. And yet we can be pissed off at the ignorance, we can be pissed off at our own ignorance for not really knowing what happened here. Just so many things could have happened. We don't know, what negotiation happened between that shipper and your company, and who lost, and that's why, oh man, they didn't have the product and we had to send me to another location. We don't know whose day that screwed up. We're pissed off that it screwed up our day, and I'm pissed off that I left $70 on the table and that I had to do another load for chump change and short mileage, because it wasted an entire day. A typical day, I want to average, $700 to $1,000 revenue per day in my truck. Well, when I take a load for $75, I'm like, that's a lot of money left on the table. You know what my perspective is? My perspective is that's a win. I want to be stoked that I left that much money on the table, because I'm still going to win off of that loss. I'm going to take my L. I'm still going to end up winning in the long term. You know why? Because I didn't lose my cool. I didn't call up my driver manager and tell him all about how I was pretty sure that he was mad at me and he's screwing me over, and that he must have seen that I had a really good week the week before, and now Prime is, throttling my revenue and all these crazy, guys, it's too much. You are literally harming yourself with all this negativity, and the mindset has to change. That's how you win. If you take the focus, the perspective off of yourself and think to yourself, hey, it wasn't just you. I don't think anybody really won here that I had to go from one place to the other to pick up a different load. You know, the guys that pick for those other fields maybe didn't get their overtime, and that overtime was going to pay for, you know, Mark's kids' dental that week because they have to get braces or whatever for school this year. And who knows that they didn't get to pick that produce, and they're just as upset as I am that, oh man, I can't get my load from this location. I got to go pick it up from this location, and nobody's winning here. We're all trying to find win-win solutions. We're all trying to make ours, but it's a community effort. You know, we're all in this together. That's the mindset that has to be. It's not so-and-so screwing me over. All these truck drivers, I see them on their channels and stuff, and everybody's pissed off about how they're being screwed over by the company, by the system, by the man, by the whatever. Look, guys, patience, perspective, empathy for the other people that are involved in these situations. It's not just about me. And that's how you're going to win. Because in the long term, I can still look around and be like, you know what? I'd still rather be driving this truck than working in the field. And I'm so grateful that that's happening. It's perspective. I'm hauling strawberries from California that are being generously picked and processed for me by our friends in Mira Loma and Salinas, California. And I'm taking them to a Walmart in Gordonsville, Virginia. Do you know there's probably 0 people in Gordonsville, Virginia who know that a driver even brought, well, there might be more than 0 people that know that a driver brought those strawberries to the shelf, because over the last year we kind of got a little more, limelight, being heroes of keeping America moving and all of that. But they don't know that Mark was out there and lost some overtime, didn't get to pick all of the, spend his time picking in the field so that he could feed his freaking kids and get them dental insurance or whatever, right? Like, perspective, man. It's so cool that somebody in Gordonsville, Virginia is going to go to this Walmart and buy these strawberries that their kid is going to eat at the dinner table or the breakfast table. And man, that was done by another human in another state 28,000 miles away. We get to be the intermediate for that. We get to do this job. We get to see every mile along the way. And we get to make a really decent living on the way. Because I think whoever buy those strawberries in Virginia and whoever just picked them in California is probably making less than we are. Patience, perspective, empathy. Your PPE of trucking has got to be more than just the equipment. It's got to be inside. It's got to be you. We have to be the change in this industry. Anyway, guys, I hope you're out there, you're staying motivated. Stay healthy, stay motivated, keep those wheels rolling, and hey, just remember, enjoy it. Enjoy it.